Good afternoon, teachers, parents, social workers, therapists, anyone that have invested interest in these youth. It is an honor to be here to celebrate you graduating from high school and promoting on. When I was preparing I was trying to prepare my speech and I was writing it. It took me a long time to kind of come up with the words to say. And I had to sit still for a while and I had to sit with myself and say, you know what, this is a time to be real. Because if I was a student here, I want someone to be real with me. So I can remember my high school year, waiting to hurry up and finish high school to get out because I felt I wanted to be my own person, get out and see the world. Well, I developed a calendar that I put on the wall and I started Xing off the months. I Xed off September, October, November. Got to December, the end of December. A couple of my friends, we were driving. I got into a terrible car accident. I hit a pole. Next thing you know, I woke up in the hospital. And at the time that I was in the hospital, I couldn't feel my legs. And I thought to myself, God, I did everything you asked me to do. I mean, even though we were struggling, I still stuck to the script. I still tried to go to work, still tried to cut grass, still tried to get out and try to make a way so I could make sure that my mom was able to get help with the bills. I did everything you asked me to do. You're gonna take away my ability to walk? Sure enough, the doctors came in, they rushed me in, they had a CAT scan. They ran me in once, ran me back out. Ran me in again, ran me back out. And for that instant, for that little moment, I felt as if there was a calmness that came over my spirit. The doctors came to me and came to my parents and said, do you want the good news or you want the bad news? We want the bad news first. Well, the bad news is we're gonna stitch you up. The good news is you'll be able to walk out the hospital tonight. And I didn't believe that I could walk out because I didn't feel my legs, because I didn't trust myself. Time moved on, I ended up walking out of the hospital. Carry on, February, March, April, May, prom, graduated from high school. The minute I walked out, the doors, after the lights, after the cameras, after the balloons, the doors shut behind me, and life hit me. Life hit me in every direction. And I had a moment there, and I started thinking about several things that was going to get me through. One of the things I had to realize was, number one, I had to trust the process. Life is not perfect. It will never be perfect. No matter how much that you want this life to be perfect, it's not going to be perfect. Life is designed to shape you. We all dealt a certain card in our life, and whatever card that you have to use that card and make it work. But it's designed to shape you for a reason because you're special. Trusting the process is like baking a cake. Mix a lot of different ingredients into making this cake. Mix flour, mix baking soda, sugar, and all the other things. So what life is, disappointment, being misunderstood, you can mix that in the bowl. Not feeling the meaning of being wanted by someone. All those things factor into you developing the process and trusting the process of life. Next, time. Appreciate time. Each and every one of you here that sit here in the audience today has been given an opportunity to wake up this morning. If you've been given an opportunity to wake up, that means you have a fighting chance to keep going, and try to endure, and try to fight on to try to accomplish your goals. Life is not going to be easy, and it's not. It's never going to be easy. The next thing, self-motivation is the key. You have to learn how to motivate yourself even when no one else is motivating you at all. I myself have to learn how to motivate myself all my life. For most of you, you have to learn how to motivate yourself as well. You're always going to get the support that you need. In those defining moments, everything that anybody ever taught you in this life, whether it was a social worker, whether it was a therapist, whether it was a parent, whether it was a bad experience, those things are going to shape you to be able to motivate yourself. Sometimes you got to look at yourself in the mirror and you got to pat yourself on the back and say, I am beautiful. Sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I got this job. I've been through too much. Sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I am special. Sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I think I can step forward and make this happen. What I want to say to the high school graduates and the 8th graders that are going on to high school, be proud of yourself. Despite whatever you went through, you made it to this point to be able to receive a high school diploma and be able to move on to the next level. You have the opportunity to write your story, whether it's good or bad. And wherever your story is going to be told by somebody else. And you'll be able to pass that story on to another kid that's struggling, that's going through the same situation that you probably went through. You're special regardless if you don't even know. By the mere fact that everything you've been through, every obstacle that you've been through, you was able to sit in the classroom and you was able to still fight on and still fight through it. Like anyone else, and I can testify to this, this life is like a windstorm. No matter what's going on, you got to fight through this storm. You got to continue to fight. You got to continue to fight through it to make sure that you get to plan A. You got to fight to get to plan B. You got to fight to get to plan C. Whatever it is in this life that you feel that you're going through, understand it's temporary. It's a temporary storm. And it's designed to build you, it's designed to make you battle tested. So when you do get out here and face the world, you say, I haven't been through that. I didn't seen that storm before. It's going to be a little girl out here that's struggling. When you get 25 or 26 years old, you're going to be able to sit down and say, you know what, I know exactly what you're going through. Most of the time, all we need is somebody to say, I understand. I understand and I feel your pain. Let me help you out. Let me grab you by the shoulder and walk you through this. I want to say this to all the social workers, therapists, anyone that has vested interest in these kids right here. Continue to water them. Because I was that same kid that was sitting there, somebody planted a seed in me. When they planted a seed in me, it didn't grow right at that very time, but it grew at the most defining time. When I was laying on my back in the hospital, that's when I knew I had to trust the process. And everything that I ever learned, everything that anybody ever told me, I had to use those very simple things to move on with my life. In closing, we live in a world where everything is fast-paced. We all running through life. The problem with running through life is we miss steps when we're running, and we forget about the smallest things and the most important things, like the flowers, the trees, the birds. We miss understanding yourself. We miss loving yourself. We miss the most important people that try to have vested interest and try to encourage you. Take your time and walk and see life and experience life and understand that you only have this amount of room to be a kid, but you have a lifetime to be an adult. When you start to run through life, you miss the opportunity to enjoy the simplicity and the beauty of life. There's always beauty in the struggle, and you have to see it. It depends on what lens that you're looking out of. You don't want to wake up one day and realize that you missed it. Ladies and gentlemen, the students, congratulations. Thank you.